Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here, and today we're going to be talking about Evangelion by Behemoth. And excuse me if I'm feeling a little bit weird, I kind of still have coming over a cold, but yeah. Let's just dive right into this. I feel like after the apostasy, I feel like it takes like elements from that and Demigod, but I also feel like they combined it all into with Evangelion right here. And my god, this album is just gnarly. Like the production is just insanely good. Nurgle just sounds really sick. And his guitar playing along with Seth's is just great. Bass playing for Orion is good, and Inferno is just a monster at drums, like I said a million times. But yeah, without further ado, I just like to dive into this album track by track. Now the album opens up with Deamonos, forgive me if I butcher that title, which begins with an utterly cacophonous intro with sort of dissonant strings mixed with sort of like the grating sound of helpless, tortured screams, and then Nurgle's voice forts itself high above the chaos, creating the same uneven atmosphere that's felt in like there's one of their other songs called Hekau 718 before one is completely taken over by the unrest, and then the band enters with sort of relentless fury, thus kicking off the album opener. I mean, this song does nothing to lessen the flame that is apparent in all of like any openers that Behemoth has done in the past. In fact, this pretty much sets the whole album with sort of like unrelenting energy. Then we go to the next song on the album, which is Shem Hamforash. It sort of like begins where Daimonos ends with sort of like the same chord, which gives the song a sort of like a continual feel to it, as it follows sort of like the previous song with almost no pause for breath, noting chordlessly of a sitar set to the tone of like a Middle Eastern. Right on the stage is set for like the most fastest track on the album. This track is one of my personal favorites, as to me is like the album's most memorable track, and Inferno drives the song as fast as he can. The solo is absolutely amazing. It almost kind of sounds like just like the solo for Conquer All is one of the best solos that Behemoth has done. Then we go into A Fire in the Void, which is very precise in its execution. It is very classic Behemoth sounding. It is sort of like the odd man out on Evangelion, and I really enjoy it very, very much. It screams like a single almost immediately. It almost sort of like brings like the black metal influence prevalence on like Demigod back to like the table here. And also has the influences that were pretty much non-existent on the Apostasy. And anything saves this track is the stellar music video that was made for it. It's just, if you haven't watched it, just check it out if you haven't. Then we go into Transmigrating Beyond the Realms of Amenti. It's just so unexpected in a good way. Well, this track Behemoth experiments is with sort of an odd meter, and the results are damaging. Just the main riffs is beyond doubt the most death metal riff of the whole album, and the ending chant is undeniably catchy with them chanting "Jerusalem is following," which is just doesn't get more evil sounding than that. Hue Breeds Pestilence, another example of Behemoth experimenting. The faint sound of sort of like carrion birds fly overhead is overtaken by a mournful dissonant chord, almost doomy in a sense, picking like string from string. After a blistering black metal moment, the song goes back into a dissonant chord, this time with sort of like Orion to kind of like shine on his bass, while Inferno just sort of like amazing drum fills. And a return to speed is accompanied by a screeching guitar slides in the horn section with sort of like haunting choir mimicking Nurgle's vocals. And the song succumbs to a very blackened lead taken by the end of monstrously militant snare roll from Inferno. The Seed of I starts with an epic riff. Black metal influences are again very prevalent in this track, and there's like a pseudo breakdown leads to sort of like another slower melancholic chord progression. Features the only acoustic guitar on this entire album, which is a surprise for usually a heavy acoustic laden band. And the slower moment only lasts so long, and then the band puts so much high gear again for another memorable solo before going into the main riff once more to include this song. At Last, Lord is Upon Me, which I mean, the sort of like the raw primal black metal sound that is the signature of this album returns to full force on here. The song retains an interestingly evil atmosphere to it, even for Behemoth. The song is an undeniably a vocal song, as the layering returns for the chorus as Nurgle yells, "Lord of hosts, whore of salvation, tear the skies as you spread your legs. Higgs vomit forth upon my head at all afflictions of a nation known to man." And the song runs its course in a rather short order, but not before leaving an impression that lasts. Defiling Morality of Black God, which is, this song is the shortest song on the entire album, but it has that same urgent feel that felt like with like one of their other songs, Pezazud. So it almost has sort of like a grind feel to it, although admittedly not near as much as like the previously mentioned track. And a lone guitar solo gives way to this song, and before like the returns like the main riff that closes out the song. And then the album closes with the song Lucifer. The song structure is deceptively simple but mindlessly epic, as tribal drums fill in horn sections about, lyrically borrowing from a poem. The intro leads into an almost ambient moment, complete with sort of like choir mornings and windy soundscapes before Nurgle recites a part of the poem entirely in Polish, which of course where Behemoth is from. And then sort of like the main riff kicks in, accompanied with a tapping lead for the rest of the first verse. A more reflective riff follows, making the slowest point in the album. The process repeats itself with an eerie but epic spoken word part. The atmosphere of this particular song is very busy but never hectic, and is very easy to be drawn into. The song resumes itself for the next several minutes, repeating the reflective riff as it slowly evolves, while Inferno shifts the emphasis of the beat to keep things interesting. And the song ends in the same way the album begins, with a dissonant string and some that builds up quickly, but disperses in an even faster fashion to conclude this album. Now, overall, Evangelion by Behemoth, it's another great addition to their discography. If I were to give this album a score, I'm definitely going to give this a solid 9.5 out of 10. And of course, this would be their last album for at least 5 years, because they would go through some stuff prior as well, which we'll talk about in the next review, which pretty much some people probably know about. But yeah, that's my review of Evangelion, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. I'll see you all in the next video, and keep it metal.